Okay, so here we are on EKG number 8. Now this one's a little bit tricky, so you get bonus points if you get this right. I don't think you have to know this, but I'm going to show it to you anyway. But well, let's go through everything real quick again. What about the rate? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So 15 times 6 is 90. Now what about the rhythm? Do we have a P for every QRS and a QRS for every P? Let's look here. There's P, QRS, P, QRS, P, QRS. So yes, oh, you can even see it nicely down here. So we have a sinus rhythm. Now, what about our axis? Oh, this one that's a wash. That could be just even. This one is mostly down. Okay, so if we have, let's call it actually, I'm going to call it positive, actually. So 1 and negative F, right? Our positive, negative 1 and positive F puts us in this right quadrant over here. So we're going to call that right axis. Okay, so now let's do our intervals, okay? So here we got our PR, and that looks like it's less than 200, so that's okay. Our QRS looks like it's less than 300, so that's okay. And then our QTC, that is also okay. So we have good intervals. Next, let's look at our ST segments and our T waves. All right, so let's go through them again in order. First, let's look at our lateral leads, and these look like ST segments are good. T waves are up. ST segments are down here, right? T waves are down. ST segments look, I don't know, it's hard to say. Okay, let's look at the other lateral leads. T waves are all up, and the ST segments are about flat. Okay, let's look inferiorly. Inferiorly, we got T waves all up, and ST segments, despite the wavy background, look okay. Here we have, this is some funky looking ST segment here. Look at this shape here. Now this shape is why I put this EKG in here. This is called a Brugada shape, Brugada syndrome, or a saddleback shape. And these tend to be, these patients who really have this have a high risk of having sudden death. And so that's why it's important to know that. Though this shape has to be in the presence of a clinical syndrome that makes you really worry about it. So maybe there's other people in their family who died suddenly of a heart attack at less than 45 years of age, or this patient has had intermittent VFib or polymorphic VTAC that we've documented, and so these patients need to get an automated implanted cardiac defibrillator. They need a defibrillator placed inside of them in case they do go into VTAC or VFib. It can shock them out of it. So the lesson from this one here is look at this shape. You got this saddleback shape here, and if you have it in a patient who has had prior cardiac problems or there's early heart disease in their family, because this is a genetic problem, it's a genetic disease, then these people need to get a defibrillator. So this patient, I would say it's sinus rhythm with a Brugada pattern, and if worried, should need to get a defibrillator, so it should probably be evaluated by cardiology further, unless they're coming in with symptoms, then sooner than later, so they don't have a sudden death. Okay, next EKG.